Kendrick, Providence Tarot
What's
here.
up, guys?
I did a reading for the water signs earlier. It was a love reading, and it was pretty intense as far as like what it was talking about. Now we're gonna do a reading for Leo. It's your birthday season, and we want you to have a very special reading as we prepare to, you know, well. So I've already shuffled your cards. Leo, I've already shuffled your cards. Usually we shuffle on camera, and that's what I was
Should I
thinking
get
about
down
doing.
with you a little bit? Hi,
Because
Leo.
he's gonna get down, so we're gonna give you your perspectives.
Hi.
Yes, why don't you be like that, like commentator, and let us know what people are saying, okay, Dale?
I'm going to like be the distributor of information between the two.
Retrograde and
It's birthday season. I'm a Leo. What are you guys doing during this Leo season? What goes on during the Leo season time? You guys okay? Hi. People are trying to, like, we just now decided we were going to go live with this. Live is always best. And that's perfect. Right now in the present, what passionately do you feel about? Leo always brings attention to matters of the heart.
Okay.
So
also,
what's going on
keep
there?
the time check on there for us too, because we want to try to keep this at like.
Your birthday's on the 16th. All right. That's the day of high voltage. The 16th. That's the tower, and that's Madonna's birthday, which you probably already know because it's Madonna. And your brother, she has your birthday more than likely, but she's a Leo, and she's a perfect example of a Leo. If you want to talk about Leo archetypes, especially a lioness, right? She is always going out. She is always on the hunt. She is always ready to provide for her children or her man. A lot of lionesses end up with men who are not as subservient to their standard a lot of the times. That is a very like Leo female quality that you have to make sure that, because you do relish in being able to dominate in a certain degree in a playful way, but you are a very supportive, praise person, so you'll try to uplift a man that isn't necessarily got their own esteem going and they can't do it themselves, and that can really weigh you down. It really can for a Leo female a lot of the times. So you love, because you can become very prideful with who you love, and then you won't leave or you won't do certain changes that you need to because you're like, it couldn't be a complete waste, it couldn't be a complete dud, this must be something. And I chose you. Okay, I put so much time,
So
something about
at the bottom of the deck you have Mercury and Aquarius, right? Mercury and Aquarius, which is the Six of Swords. So this is talking about the reharmonization of your mental state, right? It's coming out of the conflict that you were experiencing as far as like not really getting your ideas across, not really getting your perspective pushed forward in a situation where somebody else was actually understanding you and allowing themselves to be on the same page with you. And because of those conflicts, you have chosen yourself to bring about more harmony in your mental state just by moving on in ways of determining like what this person or what this person, place, or thing, relationship means to you now that you have reconsidered everything amidst all of the conflict that was happening before. Yes, so now you're sort of getting a better view on the situation for what it was and what it means for you moving forward in the future. And I think that for a lot of you it means that you're moving into like more calmer waters, so to speak. It's like not as rough as it somebody finding yourselves in situations that might be challenging for you. Before, it was even worse than it is now. So you still have some things to look forward to. And as far as that,
they're just getting more clear-headed about what we have been going through or thinking. That's kind of a lot of what it's hinting at. It's not necessarily something that's comfortable because it's opposing you. Aquarius is opposing you, so it's not necessarily something that's something to do with your reputation or with just something to do with a humanitarian thing, like something to do with your job or the way that people see you somehow, or your Facebook status, social media, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to do with that and that aspect, or
Right.
higher goals, retirement, your social security, anything to do with a lot of paperwork and a large scale, education, anything like that. It could be against you somehow, right? Like you realize that you have to break away from an establishment. Definitely finding the balance right now. Good.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about breaking away from an establishment,
Yeah.
or from a routine, because
Yeah.
it's five. If you think of the Roman numeral, it's the five and the one, right? So that's very significant in the sense with the V and the one. It's the five, and then
Right.
the one being seps all together. So it's talking about Venus. Venus rules the six, and and the lovers are talking about either how you feel deeply about a person, or how you feel deeply about an establishment,
Right.
or you're in a situation.
Right.
It could be, especially in that case, you like your hierophant energy, your commitments, your
Right.
love commitments, or
Right.
your commitment all the time,
Right.
right? So it's
It's
saying that you're thinking about letting that go,
right.
because the Hanged Man is here. I'm looking at it as the
Yeah, the
first card
hangman
out.
is there too. Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, it's the 13th card. I chose it
Card.
as that 13 even on. We haven't even turned over
So it's
the
like the
first card.
theme,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the theme, the hangman. So a lot of you are actually just kind of like, I don't want to say you're hanging in the balance, but you're taking a step back, your view of the relationships that you've established with people, and seeing who's still left over after the carnage. You know what I mean? After that Five of Swords energy, after that slanders thing, all of those things that you never really thought that you would have experienced with somebody in a close relationship that you once were happy with. You've moved on
Mm,
from those things.
mm.
You're no longer communicating in the same way that you once were before. You probably
Person,
are
place, or
using,
thing,
right.
job, whatever
Uh-huh.
this
You
noun
may not be
is.
as excited as you were
Right.
about this same thing before. It's like you almost want to like move away from it a little bit further away, just so you can see like what you once were and what you once were dealing with as that citrus 12, which is number 3, and that's the energy of the Empress. It's like,
The citron just fell down.
are you allowed to use that creative energy? You know what? As far as like, once you move forward into this new situation, you may not be able to initiate things right away, but you might be able to once you figure out where you are with it. It's kind of like not do anything until you have a little bit more information. And once you realize where you fall within the situation, you'll have a little bit more of a better picture as to where you are.
You're feeling hung up somehow, because it's the Hanged Man, right?
Right.
So the Hanged Man is really talking about feeling like somehow spiritedly, maybe it's you against what you want, or you against a certain passion, or you against what you thought would be, right? It is Leo season. So Leo, the deepest desire of a Leo is to live out their dreams
Right.
and more, because it's about expansion, right? The gases, fire expands, it catches things on fire, and it's bigger and bigger and bigger. So it just naturally wants to consume in that way. It wants to burn and spread like water wants to absorb, and right, it wants to let you in and can bring you into it. Fire wants to push and burn and purge. So Leos have recently been in the fire a lot. And
Yeah.
it's just
Both of us have Venus and Leo, so
it's a
in
thing in your love, yeah, and
in
I
the
mean,
relationships and stuff, just even
um,
together.
in general, just to have Sun and Leo, especially, it's like
Yeah.
you're accustomed to being somehow antagonized for being maybe people think you're being overly dramatic sometimes. You can be really focused and just really the life of the party to people who really understand you. But it is a fire sign. So if you think about the sun, positive and negative aspects, it's like if you're in the sun for too long, you get dehydrated.
Right.
You need water. water. Yeah, it could be helping things grow and making things beautiful and harmonious, or it could be killing you subtly.
And that's good to know. That's good to know as a Leo, because you know when you need your break from people, and you know when people are happening at the time,
you'll burn out.
You know what I
need
mean?
the balance.
Look at that. Look at that color right there.
Yeah, it's deeply and it's saturated.
Intense. You need a break from that. But we have
Leo in the first house, Mercury and Venus and Mars.
Hey, you guys, so let's
wow, Leo in all those placements? Yeah.
Let's look at your first house and see what you're identifying with.
This is Leo in the first house.
This is amazing here because you have new opportunity. Those of you with Sun, Moon, and Rising in Leo, or you know, with Venus in Leo, it might be very significant for you as well. The Ace of Rods is really talking about new opportunities in terms of like what's possible. Activity wise, you know, to like create for yourself, or what are those ideas that you're able to like channel and manifest in something in its beginning stages. Some of you might be looking forward to an opportunity that may have presented itself, and now you're just head around what this opportunity can bring for you. So you might be very excited about presenting yourself in a certain scenario or situation. Some of you really want to make a good impression, you know, be very charismatic. Rods here. Yeah.
This is a very this is this natural placement. Leo Moon, Libra, Aquarius. I have no idea what that means. Well, if you want a personal reading with us, email us at providencetarot@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to break down all that stuff for you personally, what that means if you want. But basically, you know, to have this placement of the Ace of Wands, that is Aries pretty much. And Aries rules the first house. So it's this initial kind of reminding you of focus, or having this new spirited passion coming in. So a lot of Leos may be having some new situation come in this during this particular time of Leo, during this August period. Something could happen. Good or bad, probably more on the positive side, just because it is fire. So whatever it is necessary, right? It's purging. So it's creating something new. And it is the initiation of that feeling in your mind. So you could, you know, it is the mind. And the mind in the first house is a lot of the identity and the awareness of self, right? So it's really saying like you probably will be doing it. Right? Yeah. You will be initiating this new passion. You will be initiating this new focus somehow. I'm in a contract buying for my first home. Congratulations. Yeah.
So, you know, it's like with Leos, it's all about what you're creating, right? And what you're able to create is like what sort of like stems from you, right?
Definitely.
When we're thinking about the rods, we're talking about something that was activated by you, something that was prompted by you. It's initiated from you. So this has a lot to do with you guys and your capabilities, and is driving you, right? If you have the confidence and you have the belief that you can do something, then you're probably going to make the steps to do that.
Right. Yeah. And this is and because it's Aries, it's like you're not going to overthink it as much. You may be in spirit. So it could very much almost be burdensome in the sense that you feel like, you know what I mean? It's like, who wants to be in the oven? Who wants to necessarily be, there may be force involved because Aries. So it's like, like this is the moment. It's hot. Or it's, you know, like, remember, like if you get really hot and you get really uncomfortable, right? Leo's, right? You get really uncomfortable. The sun can be 80 degrees. Ooh. 103 degrees. You know, right?
You guys are using this energy to harness those things that you want for yourself.
Yeah.
Let's look at the second
house.
The
second house
ruled by Taurus.
What you have, finances,
this is good because
material.
Leo, right? We both have Venus and Leo, so it really works for us too. You got the Magician in your second house, so you have all of those capabilities. Another one.
That's very powerful.
Opportunities is the awareness.
New thing.
What you're
starting.
Able to do. The awareness of what you're capable of. Other people will be looking, and onlookers will be seeing what you're creating and what you're manifesting. Yes, and you're doing it by way of showing people what you're presenting your work in a very clean cut and clear way where there is no question about your capabilities and what you're able to do for yourself.
Yeah. Getting my coins together. Good Leo
Am I loud
Club.
enough for you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah. Let us know if you can't hear us, okay?
I'm gonna turn the air off because it's been on for enough.
But yeah, basically, the Magician card is just reiterating that there's a new situation coming in. This is the adversary leg.
Right.
Even though it's saying there in the mind that it's spirited,
Yeah.
here it's saying that this could be like pentacle related as well. Because all of the minor arcana, they're all there, right?
They're
you
all
have the
there.
pentacle, you have the wand, you have the cup. All of them are there.
Right. This card is saying if you can think it, you can be it, and you can have it.
And I think a lot of Leos are really starting to understand you have as far as what you're capable of, what you can do, what you can create. Do you not know that the Leo motto is I create? So a lot of people are looking for you to shine, for you to have this epiphany, to have this idea. And a lot of this kind of hardship or this kind of being in the fire, this kind of not being able to blend in, not being able to be like everyone else, or things being dramatic sometimes to you is part of the fire, right? Because when you go through that fire, you come out golden. Yeah, Taurus, I love every inch of Leo. Well, Leo and Taurus have a very physical attraction naturally. They're both fixed, and earth and fire are naturally conjunct. So it's a natural physical thing because you have lava and then you have the crust of the earth. They're naturally conjunct. So they communicate together very physically. So there could be a lot of physical attraction, but dating a Taurus and a Leo can be very difficult. But marriage would be perfect because the Taurus needs to own you. And once they build this house, you kitty get your little cat door and you get to come in and out of it. As long as you understand the rules of the house, Taurus is going to be good with that. But you know,
so
that was just a side tangent about Taurus and Leo.
With the Magician being here in the house of Taurus, this is talking about knowing your capabilities and actually standing firm and like being confident that you're able to deliver. Right? Yes? And this is because you have to. Sorry guys, it's gonna reconnect. I told him before. Yeah, I told him before we started it might freeze or something like that. Okay, so now let's look at your third house. This is your house of communication, and then it's ruled by Mercury, and you've already got a Mercury card here in the Magician and also in the Six of Swords. Okay, perfect. So now in your third house of communication, we're talking about some things, some hidden things, some issues that might be causing you guys a little bit of pain or some emotional turmoil inside. You know, it could be those things that have been bothering you, and maybe you are now talking about those things and they might be stirring up some emotions inside of you. And you know, it's one of those things where the moon comes in all of these different phases and it evolves. So you're talking about all of the things that you've been feeling thus far that have maybe affected the way that you've been able to assert yourself in your life and your own certain situations that you're putting yourself in order to like expand or grow a little bit more for yourself. It's talking about how you're able to care for yourself in the home. It's communicating with people about how important certain things are for you in terms of like work and jobs go. You are feeling just a little bit more concerned about how you're able to, you know, afford things for yourself.
Yeah. You know? And this is like, let's have a Gemini placement. It's talking about communication. Mercury being in retrograde, that means we need to revise and rethink some things, right? And Gemini is saying analyze it. And with the moon being there, it's saying analyze your feelings. So let's all just take that moment and close our eyes right now. You actually don't need to see me. You can hear me all the same. You are experiencing all the messages that you need to hear from, right? This in your life. This is how the moon works for you. It cuts away all the fat. It cuts away all the noise to what it is that you are feeling. It automatically evokes the hidden because it evokes a certain amount of anxiety or fear from the unknown. Now we're in darkness. Now we feel less capable than we did before. And that causes a certain type of struggle that comes into effect. Now open your eyes. Now you open your eyes again and you see we're still in the same place. I'm still me here in the same situation with you.
Mm.
But now you're taking in more things. So now it's less internal, right? The anxiety is real. Right,
Yeah, it
exactly.
is.
It is. And because you're a fixed sign, you're a Leo, and Uranus just went into Taurus. So Uranus is opposite the sun,
Right.
and is the opposite ruler of you, which is Aquarius, right? So it is opposing some of the self things. It's like we are thinking societally, how hard is it going to be to accomplish your dream, right? And you might feel there's opposition with whatever that dream is. If it's a house with a family and a wife and kids and a picket fence, or going back to school, or moving to this place, or whatever these
Right.
goals are, because Leos usually are the type of people who always have some type of passion or
Oh,
goal.
yeah.
It could be an internal struggle related to that, or it could be something related to your body,
Hmm.
or with your home life that you need to communicate. It could be a Gemini in the home life, right? Because Gemini rules the third house. And so you care about dreams. You care about what you're doing and who you work for and all that. Body has to feel passionate in that way. They could just be making the pentacles, right? They could just be making the dollars. But Leo really needs to feel passionate and creative in some aspect, even if it's technical or whatever it is, that you to feel like you're good at it, appreciating that you're good at. It's a
Yeah.
very Leo. So if you're not doing that, that could be, a Leo or that has been bruised somehow, or your pride has been tampered somehow, because this is very moon related. There could be healing involved that needs to happen, and it may be in the forms of communication, with it being in the third house. And that could have to do with a sibling for sure as well. You could have a sibling that is a Cancer moon or rising, or sun, or someone that's like a sibling to you, or you're communicating with them, or there's some type of twin-like aspect. And those, because the third house talks a lot about communication. It talks about like your friends as well, and your neighbors and stuff like that. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
see what's going on with the fourth house
The
now.
fourth house, which the moon rules. Okay, you have another moon card. You've got the moon in Libra. So a lot of you are really trying to make some decisions as far as like how you're relating to your feelings and how you're relating to your
Moon in
emotions and
Libra.
how you're relating to the home. You know what I mean? Some of you have to make a lot of decisions or one decision in regards to the home and how you fit into that or how it fits with you. What does your home mean to you right now? Are you happy with the place that you call home? Do you feel like you want to make some changes? Swords are the changes, called the change suit. Are you looking to make home, or are you actually just looking to try to make some decisions about how to
So
make it
true.
feel more comfortable for you? Because this is Libra, and it's all about the aesthetic and those Venetian qualities about how you appreciate your home.
You're weighing things right now. There's a lot of weighing going on right now, whatever aspect that is, because you are initiating something new in your thoughts. So whatever it is, especially with Leo, because you're really good at really having the endurance. And when you get fixed on something, you're gonna stay fixed on it. So if it's a person, I'm literally shaking listening to this. So much truth.
Wow.
Yeah, like if it's a person, or if it's said, "Oh, I'm starting this business. I have this goal, whatever it is on,
Nice. A long
yeah,
process.
you're really going to try to like really fight through. Give me this card.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
moon in Libra. So the
Mm-hmm.
moon is ruled by Cancer, right? And here you can got the two forces, means that she's weighing something. The swords are talking about thought. The swords are talking about what thoughts. You're weighing thoughts, uncomfortable communicating feelings.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry. This is your Mercury retro.
communications in the house,
Yeah.
or communications with your emotions somehow. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely having some difficulties. Not as much yourself. A lot of lions have not been themselves in a while, trying to get back of passion inside of yourself. And you could be weighing out your efforts in a relationship with
Right. You're
someone.
with someone, and it's like
How much energy are you going to put into this?
right. It's
You know,
it's in other people. It's like you're basing your choices and your decisions in consideration of how other people are going to be affected by them, and it's coming from a place of love. place of emotion because you know what other people need from you because this is in the fourth house that Cancer rules. It's about the receptivity. You understanding that your choices
Other
are
people are
actually
really
going to be
affecting your emotions.
affected
Yeah.
by your choices and certain types of choices and decisions. So you're really heavily considering that. And it's getting to a place where like it's starting to expand and starting to actually make you understand a little bit more about yourself and where you lie in this situation that you find yourself in, energies that are arising, and how you're able to create new things for yourself. You are worried about the communication and how, people are going to feel once these things start to take shape. But it's like once you make the decision, then you'll be able to see like where it's actually going.
You can get a hold of us through reaching Providence Tarot. Providence, the word Providence, Tarot, Tarot at gmail.com. And you'll send us an email and we'll get back to you with our pricing. We do full hour readings that block it. So, you can do, once we communicate with you, we can do pricing through that. And we do FaceTime, we do things live. We record things and send links. We do in person if you're in New York City. Once you do your payment confirmation through Venmo, Zelle, or Cash App, or PayPal, then you're good to go.
Right.
And we do natal. We do all kinds of stuff in those aspects. So we'd love to help you. Getting back to the reading. But yeah.
So Leo's reading, which is the house that you rule, okay?
Right. Which is like short love affairs, and also like sensualities, passions that like are about sensuality and children.
Something is changing. You got the Tower
legacy
in your fifth house. Okay,
Leo?
Yeah. So this is talking about something being changed. And it's really actually correlating very well with the ending of the reading, and then you get the Magician as well. So I feel like you understand that there is a change that's going to occur, and it might be something that is actually going to, make it a little bit uncomfortable for you at first, and you may not even know what that thing is yet.
Yeah, for some of you, you've already had a tower moment, or you've been having several tower moments. I know the towers come out a lot for Leo, actually, this year, for a lot of readers, right? We've seen the tower a lot for Leo. And a lot of that is like, just being you, be flexible with what it is that you want, or stay on the path of what it is that you want without it being the way that you thought it was going to be. Right. And like Leo is not as flexible because they are very determined with what they want and what they feel passionate about. So the blow from the tower can be something that can be really
a little bit shocking.
Hard for. What would the tower affect?
It's a sobering energy.
It's your pride. That would be the towering moment, right? Because you are so proudful. I built this tower. I worked hard at this thing. I'm doing this, right? So the idea that you allowed the tower has become my best friend, right?
The tower.
So it's a reveal. Yeah, the towers can be a reveal in a sense, and it's also you against. It's 1 and 6. So it could be you against maybe something isn't going the way too, but it's exactly.
That's what.
But it's good.
Does. It takes the blinders off of you, because if you were in the dark about something, you're no longer in the dark.
No longer in the dark, right?
And if you were like sticking to a way that wasn't working,
you can no longer. Yeah, you can't do it. Continue.
You can't exist in the same way that you've always existed in this
structure,
right? So the structure is going to change for you, and that's going to be a good thing, right? To make this decision, but the decision is going to be, you were afraid to even talk about it because it was bringing you a lot of emotional stress.
It's a very provocative card,
right?
Which Leo can be very provocative now. Leo, can't you, Leo?
Right.
But the tower is very provocative in the sense that something externally may happen, period, right?
Yeah.
That's going to change something about you.
Right.
Wheel of Fortune, in the sense that the Wheel of Fortune is like the change is spinning. Where am I going to be in my placement? This is like more like a lightning bolt strike.
This is going to be good for you too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we're in more weeks of Leo season. So once we get into Virgo season, summer's coming to a close. It starts to feel very beautiful and all next year. What do I want to do? Where do I want to be? What sort of things do I want to get involved with? So those are some of the choices that you're going to be making. And once you're making all of those choices, you know, something is going to have to change for you, right? It's going to usher
Yes,
in
has
those.
definitely taught me how to not be attached to anything the mind tells me, such as power is outside myself.
Right.
Exactly. And
Because
it's about the
the
self.
tower talks about things that, right? Things
Right.
that you can control.
Right, it is talking about things. Oh my goodness. And the tower is like, be careful this month with all your technological things. Great, you know, in Leo, tower card coming out is like, okay, really like, you know, you may be revisiting some things and it may seem frustrating that you've got to go back and do the same thing that you mailed up before and check it again, measure it twice and then cut once kind of stuff.
I feel like
You
this
know.
could even have to do with an opportunity that's going to come for you to change something in your schedule. You know what I mean? It might not even be something
Your
bad. It
routine
might be something
ritualism.
good. You know what I mean? Because we're going to get into your routine, which is the next house. It's the sixth house for you.
Oh yeah, that's your daily
So
details.
let's go into that. How is this tower going to change your routine once
Yeah.
it comes in?
Wow.
So it's like
Oh, we were just talking about the sun, literally.
Right.
Wow.
Yes. So
That's
this
your
This
card.
tower moment is going to happen for you.
Oh,
And it's
good.
change
Oh,
that is actually going to allow you
Leo.
to thrive within your energy. You know, the things that you've
Hi.
created from this Ace of Swords, how you're actually being capable of all of these opportunities, capable
This
with
is
all of
good.
the opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. You were worried about so much, right? Patience. You were
Very
people about making
positive,
those
Leo.
changes and these decisions that you wanted to bring about, you know, and
This is
implement
good.
change. The change occurs.
The awareness of the details to the sixth house, because that's like the awareness means that you can make these changes happen.
Right.
You already are doing it because you've got a
Mhm.
lot of aces in the beginning of your first and your second house. So that's thinking about what I am and what I have. What I am and what I have, I am initiating. And then to have in the sixth house, the sun is like the
Right.
awareness of all the little details,
Right.
all the little things it's going to
Right.
take for me to
Right.
do it. And that's very progressive for you. That means
Right.
you're going to check your
The
resumes.
change in that
And you're going to
routine
like
is
network.
very
And you're going to
apparent,
go
yeah.
on the audition.
Right.
You're going to do it this time. You're not going to
Right.
convince yourself not to
Not
do
to,
it.
right.
You're going to really go
You're gonna
and you're
do
going to
it.
really shine in the
And
ways
you're-
that you need to.
You're going to do it
It's time.
confidently. You're going to do it, put it what Virgo represents. Virgo represents the work that you put into something to be able to produce.
I hope
that
this is
same
about
thing
how much Leo
every
regrets missing Libra.
single time.
Missing Libra.
Well,
Aw.
I'm a Libra and this is a Leo.
And I'm a
right
Leo,
here. We're
right.
close as hell. I done cried today. I done done everything. He done shine light on me.
Do you miss a Libra in your life? Libra and Leo are like, that's a very close relationship.
very
And a lot of
sextile
Libras
thing.
and Leos are together in some aspect. There's usually, you know what I mean? A lot of Leos know a Libra that's very significant for them or vice versa. Because those two signs are very, they are very compatible. Like air and fire is just like they just fan each other in their ideas.
They really,
You know, they are very, very compatible
they
with
get
each
along
other.
well.
Leo moon, Libra sun.
There you
Okay.
go.
There you go.
Okay, so you guys, this is what saying that this
Good.
tower moment
The
is
sun
probably
being there,
one of the
your
best
ruler's
things
out.
that would happen to you.
The sun and the moon are both in your reading right now. So that's very powerful in a sense. And it's also talking about a
That's talking about a
juxtaposition.
swelling of
So
emotional.
those major, yeah, and those are under Mercury, which is in retrograde right now, right? So these two cards
Yeah.
are in Mercury ruled planets because this is in Gemini for you, third house, and this is in Virgo for you, sixth house, right? So it's like you're feeling emotionally about certain communications and you just want the communication to happen somehow, or you
Right.
just want to be able to connect in these ways. And then the awareness is that actually it needs to be progressive communication and it needs to happen more often,
You
whatever
are
it
speaking,
is.
You've been speaking from your heart and your soul. You know what I mean? You've been doing that. Oh, can you hit that close? Low battery, but it's okay. We'll be done soon. When it does that again, let me know and we'll plug it into the portable charger.
It's true. I'm trying to muster up the confidence to go live my life myself, and I always chicken out. Just do it.
Just
To
do
go
it.
live yourself. Oh my goodness. If you're a Leo, first of all, it's like your destiny to shine, and people to just watch in and observe from you because that's what fire does.
Right.
So it's like you have the courage to just be yourself.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't naturally
Right.
have that,
It's
and
like
so we're able to
right.
learn from that experience.
It's like with Venus with Venus and Leo. I feel like a lot of times I would like to thrive in my relationships the way that I like see myself thriving, but other people don't really understand like what that means for me. So it's like sometimes there's a blockage with how I'm able to actually really shine in a relationship because I was talking about in the water love reading today, not being able to love the way that you know you were meant to love. And that's a blockage right there. Knowing that you want to love harder or better or more.
Right. And like and especially with Leo, I mean with certain signs you could really possibly be able to do that more likely. Like a Capricorn, that blockage with you to some type of passionate
Right.
da 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 da. But
Right.
for a Leo, that would be debilitating. If you block something in your heart, that's cardio, that's death.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're not surviving a blockage in your heart, and you rule the heart. So it's like for Leos to not be doing
Right.
something that they love, or to be in a situation where love is like somehow not really
It's
like
not
the passion's
progressive.
not
Right. It's
there.
not a progressive
It's
love.
like
Right.
it's debilitating.
Right.
It's really
But
debilitating.
you know, you
Um,
might come to the realization of that in that routine, right? It's like
right.
once you realize day to day,
That's the
hey, this
progression.
actually isn't really what I wanted it to be, or I don't see it being everything it be. So then that decision to like move forward. So
Facts.
right. So let's look at your house of relationships.
House relationship,
This
seventh
is the house
house.
that Libra rules.
House that Libras rule.
Beautiful.
You're the mind. So this is how you're
Right.
relating to other
Right.
people and the relationships in
Right.
your life and your
Right.
husband or your
Right.
lover, like all of
Right.
that stuff.
We
Like,
were
you
just
know,
talking about
Pisces
Virgo.
energy.
Right. We were just talking about Virgo and like the number nines and like the routine and Virgo being the ruler of the house of your or the house that rules routine. Anyway, this is number nine, nine of cups, ruled by the hermit.
So
It's
that's
talking
Virgo
about
and Pisces
right,
being
Virgo
there.
and Pisces. So
Because nine is
beautiful.
Virgo and the nine of Pisces, that's
Right,
Jupiter and
right.
Pisces.
Jupiter and Pisces. So we're expanding the ways
Mutable,
that you
very.
feel like you can reach levels of satisfaction for yourself in the relationships that you're involved in,
Virgo
right?
sun.
It's
Okay.
like once you acknowledge the relationships and how they're bringing about any sort of satisfaction to you, you're able to go inward and bring about new levels of value within those relationships
Mhm.
in like the people that you relationships and how you might be feeling like the relationship might be revitalized. It could be your relationship with your home, relationship with your coworkers, or the relationship. It could be any of those things.
So the
A
relationship that
new
you're having
relationship,
changing because of the relationships that you're having with people, right?
right?
Because these two are opposing each other. This is like Aries like energy, which this card is literally like Aries energy. This is which is like my deep desire is to have a soulmate
Right.
and to swim around with another fish and to understand their emotions.
Right.
And so now you're Jupiter, which expands everything. The feelings of how and why you want to be the
Right.
person that you want to be,
Right.
the way that you host, right? Because Leo loves to host, the way that you connect with your friends and your family may be changing somehow, and it may have changed of external forces, like fixed things, like maybe something that you moved, or you changed your occupation, or something happened within the spirit of how you
Right.
feel about a relationship or a job, and now you feel more ready. Maybe you're feeling a lot more emotional than you normally do after Cancer
Right.
season, and so you're looking for a deeper meaning to your job, career, and your relationships. Deep. You're gonna get a reading with us. Just reach out to us, and this is deep, right? I know. I'm a Leo too, so I'm looking at some of these things, and I'm
Right.
like, there is a lot of initiations. You've been feeling it, right? You're
Right.
like, have you gotten just like, oh? you know, where you can't with certain things.
Right.
And that's actually good because it's forcing a change. You just can't, you know.
This 9 over here in this house, in this 7th house, is really calling you to go in and look at what actually really matters to you, that's bringing levels of satisfaction to you that make you feel progressive.
Lots of active energy.
Right.
You know.
Let's look at your 8th house, right?
Lots of major arcana. Lots of major arcana too. The Fool in your 8th.
There's a lot of
God is really at work here.
Yeah.
Aquamoon. Okay, Aquarius moon. I can't. First of all, the Fool is here in your 8th house. The 8th house is talking about what? The hidden, right? The mysterious, ruled by Scorpio.
Hidden desires.
Hidden desires, hidden emotions,
right.
hidden truths, even. Also the things you don't want to show to people, the secrets you don't, all that stuff. And with the Fool being there, there's like risk involved somehow, or it could just be like literally God in your life somehow. You don't know how or where this is coming from, but there are all these deep feelings that are drawing you to something. Right. I'm sorry, Sun in Aquarius, Moon, Scorpio, in Scorpio, Moon in Scorpio. Yeah, okay. So there is like a deep, like this is very Scorpio-like energy in this placement because it is the house ruled by Scorpio, the 8th house. So in that aspect, it's saying like, look at these things. There might be a lot of revealing that's coming. You might not even know where it's coming from, right? These spirits, these needs to have these new initiations. But it's coming from you. Talking about this before, about the central nervous system in general, which would be more associated with air, something like Aquarius or Gemini or Libra. Mm-hmm. And you are more cardiovascular related, which is the heart, passion, this, that, and the other.
Okay.
So the Fool energy being there is like...
You desire a new beginning.
Right. And it's like, stop daydreaming about it and actually make the changes to do it, which you're actually starting to do.
You're desiring,
it's a reveal.
You want to begin anew. It's like with these
Pluto
cards,
is there.
Right.
It's a reveal to it. You know what I mean? You're learning here.
It's like with these cards here in the 7th and the 8th house, it's like by the fall, you really are hoping for something to come into shape and to really start to like get to a place of being fully materialized, right?
Don't spend too much time daydreaming. You want to act. This is the time to act.
Right. And once you get to the 8th house, which is what you hear and what you want to control, it's like you feel like you really want to begin.
Love you too.
You want a sense of freshness for yourself, so that you can feel like really enthusiastic about a new beginning, right? It's like a beginning, and you can feel that you're, and so that you're desiring it a little bit more as you can start to see it get closer and closer to you.
You don't know where it's coming from, too.
Right.
For a lot of you, you know that something has happened, and you want to. Yeah, you can feel it. Right. You really can feel it, but you don't know where it's coming from. And Spirit God is doing this on purpose. Like, you know, it's not clear on purpose. And you may actually have a complete reveal that happens, especially with the Tower being there.
Right.
Right, from what you thought you wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at your 9th house, which is ruled by Sagittarius. Work.
Wow, it is a lot of major arcana cards here, Leo. So you're in a major. This is a major time for you. It's your birthday season. Makes perfect sense. The High Priestess energy just revealed herself. So higher learning. Also, it's talking about studies, foreign languages, and here with the High Priestess energy, it's like some things about what's going on as far as like your long-term goals.
You know what the trajectory is.
Yeah.
That's why you're
what it's gonna take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also sharing what you might sharing in emotions. You know, this is saying be also with Sagittarius being there. It's like, you know, always they're so honest and they're so brute. And here it's like you're really thinking about how you're going to communicate your passions to other people too. I've been saying for the longest, I'm ready to go on my peaceful new life journey.
Here's the thing, you guys. When you know that something in your life needs to change, wondering what it might be like when the change occurs, you're starting to like do a little bit more research about the change. You're starting to consider about the change that might actually be manifested. Because after the High Priestess, you get into the Empress energy, which is things starting to take shape and you being able to exist within your own creative energy. So you guys can almost sense that approaching, yes? And it's kind of like the supreme knowing. You know what could be, and you know what is, and you know what could be, right? It's like acknowledging that there always is something more.
So, poised, intelligent, gorgeous spirits, you are honored to guys' page. Oh, happy birthday, happy too, if you're
Happy
Leah.
birthday.
Let's
So
go
you know what you're made of. Look, and didn't I just say after the high
Wow.
priestess comes the empress?
He just called it.
This is amazing.
He literally just called it.
This
So
is
the
amazing.
next that came out, which is the 10th, you is the Empress.
I can't.
Right? And the Empress energy, which has to do with Capricorn. Now we're talking about like work,
Yes.
friends and family, our establishments, our soapbox, what we get on, our need to express. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes is right. It's time to
How
get excited.
confident
Really,
are
Leo.
you?
It's
How
time to get excited.
confident are you
You need
about
to
your
express.
abilities and your ability to?
You've already been in the oven. You've suffered. You're watering yourself down. Watering yourself down. You will kill yourself with that. You will, because it's like you did your. It's like people who die of like, you know, back in the Middle Ages and stuff, dying of like heart loss or heartbreak was real. And then Susie Lee loss or died of heartache or died of heartbreak because someone else died and she died right after him. Like people really like your heart. You have to protect your needs, your desires, your passions.
These are the major
like you have to listen to it.
That you have. You and the moon.
You cannot smother it.
The sun, the fool, the high priestess, the hangman.
It's hard with Cancer moon,
the empress,
and the 12th finding the balance. We both have Cancer moons, so you are really supposed to be listening to this reading right now too. I have Cancer moon in the first house at 4 degrees, and he has a Cancer moon at 29 degrees.
Right.
So we really do, and I'm a Leo, so baby. Right. I'm a Leo, but I'm a Cancer. I really get it. With Gemini rising. So I say all the time.
Right,
I'm here with you. We showed up. But we here though.
We here. As a Libra rising,
we here,
I'm ruled by Venus, and my ruling planet is in Leo. You know, so there is something to be considered.
The imp was very progressive.
This is really
That's
good,
really positive in that Earth placement too. What are you growing?
Finally getting the recognition for something. Yeah, money,
and opportunity, relationships, and
this is you just sitting back, letting these things start to take shape. You're moving on from the conflict.
Marriage and abundance, that's what you want? Then cultivate it. Cultivate that. Right. And focus on the growth within yourself. Pray that you are open to marriage and abundance. Take control of it. Stop waiting for it to just come to you. You know what I mean?
That song?
But like pray to be open to the opportunity. Okay. Right? Like it's like to attract the energy in. Right, exactly. You get what you give. I was
gonna say, you know that
get
song,
what you give.
What you give.
Be loving to get the love back.
It's going to be your homework, you guys. Go to YouTube and search that song when we're done with this video so all of us can get that experience. Listen to that 90s song, You Get What You Give. Hit that. We're going to end the reading soon. I don't know how much percentage.
Growing the best flies, we fold inward on the 4th day cube. Each layer shed is a new opportunity. It's so true.
Let's look at your 11th house. Hey?
So true.
Your 11th house, which is ruled by Aquarius.
Aquarius opposes Leo.
Right. This is
this is very significant.
What happened to
the full moon in Aquarius last Friday?
Oh my God!
I can't.
Oh my God. How are you getting
this reading cards? Is juicy.
How are you getting these cards?
I'm really overwhelmed with you, Leo.
The star card, you guys.
In Aquarius. The Aquarius card in Aquarius. So you Aquariuses, strong Aquarius placements with Leo. My midhaven is in Aquarius, and my 10th and 11th house, or my 9th and 10th house are there.
You guys.
So it's powerful for me as well.
I got this card today when I did a 3-card reading for myself. This card is really talking about not using any force. Realizing what your capabilities are and moving forward with those things confidently. Knowing what works for you and then also allowing other things that you may have not considered to work for you help you. Yes? This is talking about understanding that there is a greater purpose that you had. Using your abilities to make things happen in terms of helping other people. This is a very humanitarian, and it's also one that talks about using your gifts to help others understand how to relate to the world on a greater sense,
You
right?
just asked real quick about what the Aquarius rising means, and I'll just break down real quick what rising
Damn, you
means. So,
guys.
rising is when is your first personality in general, guys. Obviously, if you want a personal reading with us, once again,
I can't.
providencetarot@gmail.com, and we can do all this stuff with you for a certain price. But basically, having rising is how you are. It is the first persona of your personality. It is not the action, which is the
No.
sun, or the reaction, which is the moon. It is you and your first persona. So if you have
Okay, this is gonna be like
Aquarius
that.
there, it's like that's how you are when you're not doing anything. You're seen as an Aquarius, okay? So Aquarius here is talking about a wish, though, right? Aquarius is always talking about the ability to think
Yes.
about what you want. Rebel with a cause. Not without a cause. You know very much what you want. Your mind is fixed on that thing, and it might have something to do, no problem. It might have something to do with friends and family. You might even have your mindset on an Aquarius. If you have a strong Aquarius
Wish it could
placement, you
get
need
through
to
this
look
because
at
I
it.
have a lot of battery left.
We're trying to get through it
I'm
because
trying to
he
get
doesn't
through it
have
because
we
my
only have one more
battery.
card left, but that's
Yeah.
really important because Aquarius opposes you. So it is like look at where you have Aquarius if you are a Leo
Right.
right now and think about that card in the 11th house. It's
This
talking
is
about friends and
right.
family and acquaintances,
This is the
social
third
media,
house.
TV,
This is the third stage of spiritual enlightenment.
Facebook,
So what you're thinking about right
Tinder.
here is it's like all of those things that you have hoped for, that you have wished for, the things that you have prayed for, you can have all of those things if you just know that you can, right? It's
Right.
like, you know, if you can wish
Faith and
it,
self.
right, faith in the self.
17, which is my favorite
Exactly.
number.
Faith in the self. So now let's look at your 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces, and this is a beautiful card to end the reading with. You got so many twos. You also got the High Priestess here in the reading. You got the Two of Cups to end your reading.
Okay, so the Two of Cups energy, Venus in Cancer in the 12th house. So subconsciously, I got the email, Julia. I was just curious and asked a question. Okay, good, good. You got the email?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
good.
We'll reach out to
So
you.
yeah,
This
email
is
us if you want that reading.
so subconsciously, this is talking about a relationship.
Relating.
You in general, a lot of this is about relating or you wanting to. So if you're a single Leo out there, I know very much right now, you very much want love. You really always do, but you've been not allowed yourself to be honest about it. You just have been in the work or things have been really difficult in your life. You focused on other people's needs and your roommates' needs or your friends and family, your sister, what your mom needs and what your desires are. And now it's saying, actually, I need to be connected to someone. Some of you are married and you haven't spent enough time with your spouse. This is the time to really go and plan a trip with just the two of you so that you can get your heart back to that where it is. Because as a fire sign, if you don't listen to that, then you don't know where the spark is coming from and you don't know why you're doing the things that you're doing. So if you don't feel good about the things that you're doing on a routine, that is very problematic for a fire sign. You
Right.
need to feel passionately about it. So if you're in a relationship and you're not feeling the love, subconsciously you have to get back to building that. Whatever it is, especially if it's with a sibling, because there was a moon card there in the third house. Right, so there could be something to do with the sibling or something to do with the home life that requires some type of awareness and work. Maybe you're moving. Maybe it's something to do with a Cancer in your life, or an Aquarius, or a Pisces in your life. Any of those aspects, they're all here. Or a Virgo. Okay, so these
I would,
aspects are.
yeah, to close out the reading as far as like what I might be getting from like the Two of Cups here. I was actually feeling a sense of towards like the people that you relate to. It's like you're experiencing them and their situations and what's going on with them, and you're able to like see a little bit of yourself in them on a level that's actually very pure, so that you actually can see each other, you know, for who you really are. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's like you don't have any or any, you know, smoke and mirrors about that you provide for each other, or how
Mhm.
important these people are to you, or this person,
Right.
or how important you are in certain situations. Right now, with all these major arcana cards, for all of you that are looking at this reading for a specific reason, this is saying blessings. You know what I mean? And it's also saying that even though something's going to come along and change something for you, it's all for the best. It's all for that satisfaction of knowing that you feel proud about what your daily routine is. It's all about feeling confident about what you've been provided and what's been given to you by God, that you have the confidence in showing. You know what your capabilities are. You know exactly where you're going in your life. And you know what you hope for and what you need. You have more major arcana cards here. You've got the moon, you got the hangman, you got the tower, you got the sun. One, yep, keep going. Two. Keep going.
1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. Right, those are the first 3, but the Fool's first.
The Fool
right.
So 0, 1, 2, 3.
0, 1, 2, 3 right away. You're talking about some major Leo.
And then it jumps
then it jumps to the Wish. Mature.
These two.
But look, you've got a lot of major arcana cards going on here.
As well.
A lot of major. This is major.
This is a
very strong reading. Interested to know what's going to be happening at the end of this month for you. Communicate to us, email us, write to us, follow us on providencetarot@gmail.com for emails. It's our Facebook is also not as much with Facebook, but we do weeklies all the time with our Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep up more on a daily sense, you can in your life. And I say go with these initiations. You know, last month there was a lot of Scorpio transformation, and I had done some personal readings with myself a couple weeks ago as a Leo, and that transformation death card was there as the guidance.
You're welcome, guys.
To go in that direction.
So don't forget, email providencetarot@gmail.com if you'd like a personal and private reading. You can follow us on Instagram.
Be blessed
Providence Tarot. Dale is at Blue is True with 2 T's on Instagram. I'm at NYC Kendrick on Instagram. And
powerful
you guys,
reading.
Very powerful reading.
Beautiful
if you guys want something, if we could do that for
just
you, just
open the lines of communication.
Right. It's Mercury retrograde. So don't think that just because, you know, we haven't voiced something to you that it's not possible. You know what I mean?
We're here. It's a service and but we're willing to connect with you and work out with you.
Maybe we'll do like a student discount for back to school or something like in the fall. You know, give us those ideas.
Leo, I love ya. Keep doing it. Keep shining.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Leah.